Well, hello, and quick update of what's been going on. You've probably been following me anyway, so you know about my voiceover work at Shepperton Studios. You know about the commercial that I did up in the Lake District, and just a little update on that. I believe that the commercial that was shot will be coming out any day now, so as soon as that comes out and I get permission, then I'll put some footage up on here and see if I can get a link to the actual commercial itself. The commercial will be on the History channel primarily because the company or the product that the commercial is about is quite a big sponsor of the History channel. I can't tell you much more than that, but as it unfolds you'll be the first to know. Now, regarding my car, the MX5, I recently made a new purchase, and what I bought was the Pipercross Induction Kit, and I actually put that on this morning. There were no instructions with the kit, unfortunately, but after phoning them up they said, and wait for this, you'd have to be an idiot really not to be able to fit it. They are some of the worst words I could ever listen to, because sort of 25 minutes into the fit, I confess I did have to pop up to the garage to go and see Brian and the mechanic, because I was at a loss as to where I could fit the bracket. But I'll show you that in a second. I'll show you under the hood. Now it's all been fitted. So really, without that little hiccup of the bracket where to fit it, it would have took me about 25 to 30 minutes to fit. So that's the Pipercross Induction Kit. Well, here we are. The hood is popped, as they say in America, and there is the induction kit. Now, the only thing that comes with it is obviously the cone filter itself, 3 Jubilee clips, of which I only needed to use 2, that little blue piece of hosing there, a zip tie, and a bracket. And the bracket was the thing that I just couldn't fathom out, it just wouldn't go on. But when I popped up to see the mechanics, it was pretty simple in actual fact. And I don't know if you can see this, but it's down there, it's clipped onto the side of the airflow regulator, and it then simply screws on down there, which is where the old housing used to be. So that's where it goes. It is pretty straightforward in actual fact. It's just that it took a bit of fathoming out for me. I don't know why. Now, the 3 Jubilee clips, only needed to use 2, as I said, because there's a Jubilee clip there on the intake pipe itself, which joined onto the old airbox, and that is still in use. Everything else, there's a hole inside the cone filter, and that slots into it. Comes with a sort of rubber grommet or rubber washer. This little bit of pipe, as you can see, fits in between the two here, between the airflow regulator and the cone itself, with the 2 Jubilee clips that they supplied. Now, sometimes with this rubber outer coating, it comes with a little spray or aerosol of oil or lubricant. Now, I didn't need it on this one because these already come pre-lubricated, but you can actually buy a little aerosol of lube for future use, and a little aerosol of cone cleaner. And they recommend in the instructions that I wouldn't need to clean this out possibly for about 40,000 miles, so that's a big improvement on the old box type cartridge paper filament air filter. And already I've just taken it out for a little run, and there is a noticeable difference, certainly a little bit more power, which they said it would give you a little bit of increase in power, but certainly the throttle response as well is a little bit sharper, although it already was sharp enough for me, but you can notice that there's a little bit of difference in the throttle response. Noise wise, there's no difference in sound, it's still very quiet, but I am assured that if you put your foot down, once the revs start to build, then you get quite a nice sort of growly, grunty noise. I'm very much doubtful if I'll ever hear that grunty, growly noise, but for me it's just that little bit more horsepower, especially for when you're overtaking. I think that's when I'll probably use it most. And as you can see, it frees up the engine bay quite a bit. That airbox that comes as standard is quite intrusive. It fills up this entire area, so it's given me a little bit more space, and no doubt made the car a little bit lighter. Not that it needs any more things taken off it to make it lighter. So there you go, the Pipercross air induction kit fitted to my car. It took me about, as I say, 25-30 minutes to fit, and the only problem I had really, and it wasn't really a problem, it was just I needed a little bit of a confidence boost aspect to make sure I was putting it in the right place, was the fitting of the bracket which it came with. But apart from that, it all runs and fits fabulously. So there you go, that's what I've been up to this beautiful sunny Wednesday afternoon. You'll probably notice I did have the hard top fitted a couple of weeks ago because the weather started to change, and then lo and behold, sod's law, the minute I put the hard top on, we had what you can see now, this fabulous Indian summer. So I've taken the hard top back off, put that into its protective bag and put that back in the house, and I'm now driving around in mid-October with the top down and short sleeves. I have to say, life doesn't get much better than this, does it? So as always, stay tuned. Bye for now.